It's Madden NFL 24, and all eyes are on Christian Kirksey.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Miami Dolphins. Hi everyone, Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be...
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man who took that huge jump everyone had hoped for in year 2, one of the game's brightest young stars, and that's Trevor Lawrence.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 17 carries, 66 yards.
You know he's proud of his standing as the league's number 3 rusher, and those linemen in front of him, they're just as proud, but they all have the same goal in mind. Get him to number 1 in the league and celebrate a rushing title at the end of the year. That starts with a good game here.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. Great first drive defensively. 3rd and short, able to stop the run.
And what it does is it gives not just confidence to your defensive players, it gives an overall feeling of, okay, we've established things here early. We can carry this throughout the game.
Carolina punt team out there led by Johnny Hecker. Back deep, Isaiah McKenzie. Wiggles free. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it'll be Dolphin football. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Now it's Stafford. To the sideline and incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Play action. Stafford. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit, or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. That's the NFL vet Calais Campbell coming in and dragging him down.
But they've been fighting and scratching and clawing for that first sack in the game, and it turns out to be a big one. Not just a short one right there behind the line. First one they get, 10-plus yards, and a guy who has the legs to escape most of these.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. Here's Lawrence. Under pressure, they got him again. Calling a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Now Stafford. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. 3rd down here. You look at this Carolina defense, and they've been excellent against the pass. The number 6 unit in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typically what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one. That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
Samuel with a catch, and he's still the gold standard for receivers getting work out of the backfield, even if his numbers fell in 2022. Most yards, carries among NFL receivers, over 850 total yards for him in 2022. Not too shabby since he only played 13 games.
On 1st down, Lawrence. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. From the 46, here's the 2nd and 8. They go play action with Lawrence. That's out to Hill, right side complete. So the completion there, Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allow the completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things uncomfortable for him. Because if he feels relaxed, you are in for a tough afternoon.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run forward with Hines. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. Henry's got it on the left side. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a 1st down here.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd down, here's Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him trying to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Now Lawrence. That one to the right side and incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now brings up 4th.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Myers' kick is good, and the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And now a design run with Jefferson. Tariq Woolen in on the stop.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but it definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
Now Stafford. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The catch and run good for 18 and a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw taken in by Diggs. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. McCaffrey on the counter. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
The offense on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Inside handoff, Henry. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
McKenzie now to return it. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, he's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Shedding through the defense, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
What my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
A second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, he got 4 on 3rd down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
On second down, here's Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Stephon Diggs. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. And no thought of a return here for Hines. The Panthers now set to take over offensively. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Lawrence will throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys.
He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they'll take over here following the interception with good field position and a chance to take the lead with a touchdown. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
Well, they certainly got dented with that 1st down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown, Panthers. Mark Andrews, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers have regained the lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know, they're going to try to get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look at a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you couldn't forget. Not his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not at all.
Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. That is complete downfield to Knox. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 22 yards there, a first down.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And leading 10-7, they may just want to get this to the locker room. Lawrence's throw taken in by Samuel. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. McKenzie now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the 2nd quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Going right back to Knox, and again a completion. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Here's 3rd and 6. Now it's Stafford. And going to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 33-yard line.
Here's Stafford. This one left side caught by Gibson. It'll go as a gain of 4. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Henry again on 2nd down. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Again, it's Henry. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
But from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Carolina. 48 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. In motion right, Debo. And they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. The throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
Myers' kick is good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they doubled that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 24-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Here's Stafford. And it is caught and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
They stopped short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. 59 yards rushing for him now to this point. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Gibson is into the end zone. Touchdown Miami.
Sometimes offense, you get too cute down here in the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Boswell for the extra point. And this puts him on top by a penny. It's 14-13. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return, it's Nyheim Hines. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 3rd down, Lawrence. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? defense blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
To return is McKenzie. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. From the 38 now, here's second down and 7.
At the 38-yard line.
Trying to get to the outside. This is McCaffrey. And not much room to speak of. They'll get about 3 up to the 41. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball and continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that pickup of the first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Stafford on first down. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Back to throw, Stafford. It's complete to Diggs. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up second down.
He's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5. At the 31.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. This offense on third down today, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Stafford. Work in the middle of the field. He's got man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
At the Panthers' 22-yard line.
They run with McCaffrey off the option. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. They're 2 for 2 on third down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on third down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. McCaffrey is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Again, McCaffrey. But he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to get the lead up to 4. Boswell's kick is good, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, it's a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Carolina offense about ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Ball start.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Lawrence. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Lawrence. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 37. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw taken in by Miller. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Dolphins' 31-yard line.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 20-yard line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Big play looming here. This is 3rd and 7 with a crowd on their feet. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
But that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Well, the defense circling now, 4th down and 7. And he's got it. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And with the scoreboard against them here in the 4th quarter, this was definitely 4-down territory. Really nice job there of finding a way to get open, and a really nice throw. That sets them up with 1st and goal.
Throwing now, Lawrence. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little
taken the lead here in the final minute. What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Returning it, Isaiah McKenzie. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So Matthew Stafford in the offense. Down by a field goal. A little under 50 seconds to go. And they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Now Stafford. It's taken in by Knox. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
It's 2nd and 21 at the 26-yard line.
And now he stops it with a spike at 8 seconds. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Stafford. Right to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Well, they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into point. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the Panthers, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Miami, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.